Cam Bailey, the CEO of High Arctic Energy Services, located here at the facility in Acheson, Alberta. We are one of 400 businesses in the surrounding area that have been very deeply affected by the current government policies. I'm a proud Canadian, and I'm going to pull my glasses out so you can really see really check my notes out. I'm a proud Canadian residing in the beautiful province of Alberta, and nowhere has federal politics deeply affected our way of life more than right here. It brings me great pleasure to introduce you to another proud Canadian who travels extensively throughout this great country. He recognizes the vast expanse and diversity that makes this country, truly unique. He recognizes the vast resource potential available to Canadians from its hydropower, agriculture, forest products, fishing, and of course its natural resources. He recognizes the ingenuity of Canadians to harness the potential of the vast resources which Canada is so blessed. He recognizes that the natural resource sector is something Canadians can stand up and be proud to offer to the rest of the world and to our fellow Canadians without politics. Rick Peterson is a fellow Alberta businessman who is fluent in both official languages, that has taken the time to meet with Canadians across the country to understand our differences and to unite our values. He's a nation builder, something this country truly needs at a time when politicians have promoted and fueled the great divide amongst us. Rick Peterson is not coming from a political background. Rather, he's one of us, someone who truly understands the challenges and struggles we face as individuals, as families, and businesses in a very highly politicized environment created by career politicians. Rick has founded a business that assists small to medium-sized businesses with their challenges accessing much-needed capital to grow and prosper. Traveling from coast to coast, generating interest in inspiring businesses, it gives a person a unique perspective of how much Canadians are not uniquely different, but uniquely the same. And that's why I believe the man that is to lead this great nation is Rick Peterson. And with Rick, I'm going to turn that over to you.
Bonjour tout le monde, quel plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. Quel plaisir d'être candidat à la chefferie du Parti conservateur du Canada. I am thrilled. I am thrilled and honored to be here with you in Acheson with 200 other businesses all around us in the energy sector to let you know that I'm a candidate for the leadership of the Conservative Party, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the next several weeks and months. I'm a candidate because I firmly believe that the next 10 years are going to be amazing years for Canada. The growth, the prosperity, and the opportunity that is in front of us is unheralded. It's the best that we could have since Confederation. I want to make sure that our party, the Conservative Party, is ready to take a leadership role and to make sure that Canada fulfills that promise with us at the head and me as your next Conservative Prime Minister. Je suis un fier candidat au Parti conservateur du Canada, car j'en suis certain, que la prochaine décennie va être la décennie du Canada. La prochaine décennie va être une décennie de croissance, de prospérité. Et je veux m'assurer que notre parti, le Parti conservateur, prend un rôle de leadership. Et que c'est essentiel qu'à la tête de ce mouvement à travers le Canada, c'est le Parti conservateur qui prend la tête. Et ce que je peux faire comme votre Premier ministre, c'est de mener so good. How do I know it could be good here in Canada? Well, as Cam mentioned, I run a small business. There's 6 of us. Duncan Roy is my VP. He's got a small territory called Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada. And we work with companies like High Arctic. We're in the investment business, and we help the High Arctics and others of Canada in all the sectors raise money, get some profile, grow their companies. So we're side by side every single day with people like you and with people like Cam who have to meet a payroll, who have to fight red tape, who have to fight against poor policies that might come down from Ottawa. And I'm also part of a group called Suits and Boots. Andrew Mann, right here. Andrew, I want you to stand up and say hi to everybody. Andrew Mann, 24-year-old 24-year-old electrician out of Vancouver who came here to be with us today and said to me 2 years ago, Rick, we got to get something going that unites the boots like him with the suits like me. We have to fight and defend the resource sector. So we started a movement that now has several thousand people who are supporting us across Canada, men and women, all ages, all generations, who have the same desire that we do, responsible resource vesting in a prosperous Canada. So with Suits and Boots, we traveled across Canada. We started a Canadian resource sector tour. Beth Bailey, who is right here. Beth, I want you to stand up and take a little bow. Beth's our executive director, and she's in charge of making sure that we go out and we listen. We advocate for our industry, but we listen and we learn. And we've been doing it, and she will continue to do it parallel to my campaign. So we travel all over Alberta, we travel all over Canada, and we've been to places, I've been to places in the last couple of years where it's been beaten down. Drayton Valley, you go to Kindersley, you go to Grand Prairie, you go to these places where small towns have been beaten up by liberal energy policy. Communities, families have been ripped apart. Hope has been lost for many of them. But on the other hand, these people intrinsically and deep down are optimistic. And you know why? Is you can't keep good Canadians down. You cannot keep good Canadians down no matter what the Liberals throw at us. Because a message that I hear, that Duncan hears, when we go coast to coast, is that we're in an age of change, right? We're in a change, massive change, an era of massive change. We're in an area of what we call creative disruption. Businesses, sectors, industries blow up and they change. We've seen all kinds of change in the energy sector, haven't we? Technology has changed it, but it's improved it. And what's amazing is that out of these ashes of old businesses, new prosperous businesses arise. And it's happening at warp speed. To give you an example, 3 companies that you may not have heard of several years ago are now mammoth successes. Shopify, Element AI in Montreal, and in Winnipeg. These are all companies that are growing. In fact, headline in the newspapers this morning, Shopify and Amazon are fighting for real estate in Vancouver. 10,000 people are going to be hired in Vancouver because these companies that are the leaders of the age of disruption have come to Canada, and we want to make sure that they continue. So this disruption affects the way that we do everything, right? Affects the way we shop, the way we learn, the way we communicate, the way we invest, and the way we extract resources. And at the base of this technology, there's one important factor, and that's people, right? Technology alone, Duncan and I see it every time. Technology alone does not create success. It's the people behind this technology that create success. Technology, people drive technology, technology drives disruption, and disruption creates wealth. So my vision, ladies and gentlemen, as your next Prime Minister, is to make sure that we all do what we can to ensure that Canada is the boldest, most disruptive place on earth. Let's put Canada at the forefront of change and innovation and growth and prosperity and potential. Canada should be a place where the top entrepreneurs all over the world come to make their home. Ma vision, messieurs et dames, comme Premier ministre canadien conservateur, c'est d'assurer que notre parti est à la tête de ce grand mouvement de notre pays dans les prochains 10 ans. Je veux faire que le Canada soit le pays le plus audacieux, qui a le plus de courage. Courage de prendre les risques, courage d'investir, courage de faire tout ce qu'on peut faire avec les moyens qu'on a. Ça, c'est le Canada que je veux mener, un Canada plein de courage. Duncan, I see it. Cam, you see it in your business technology. Brent Buchanan from CIBC Wagunda here sees it in his and his clients. The smartest people aren't the ones who are afraid of risk. The smartest people are the ones that embrace the opportunity. So we can attract the right people who will embrace this opportunity, but we have to make sure that we got to get it right. We have to make sure we have an obligation as Conservatives to be bold. We have to be as bold, our party, we have to be as bold as the risk takers, as the job creators, as the 25-year-old computer programmer, software developer, and as the wealth generators. We need as a party to be as bold and as confident as they are. And under my leadership, they will be. So let me make it clear today what I will do as leader of the party to let the world know that Canada, under my leadership, is focused on a bright, bold future and is not stuck debating issues that have been settled by Canadians a long time ago. If I'm chosen to be the leader of your party, the Conservative Party of Canada will not reopen the abortion debate. We will unequivocally support a woman's right to choose while respecting and listening to and honoring divergent views. We will not reopen the debate on abortion. We'll support same-sex marriage and will ensure in protections under the Human Rights Code are strengthened and supported by the LGBTQ community. I mean, this should be a no-brainer. Diversity, tolerance should be a no-brainer. It's in our DNA. And it will be in our party's DNA if I am leader. I was marching in the Vancouver Pride Parade 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, after the leadership race of 2017, with the Vancouver Conservative Association. A dozen of us, a dozen Conservatives only, but we were there. We were marching the Pride Parade. And you can see on my website, if you go to my website, there's a picture of a wonderful young woman who sat quietly holding up a sign. And the sign said, "Pineapple pizza is controversial. Bisexuality is not." I'm stealing that line every day. Pineapple people is controversial. Pineapple pizza shouldn't be on any pizza from my point of view. But diversity and tolerance, that's a no-brainer. We shouldn't even be, it's part of us. We'll expect nothing less than this inclusivity in our RCMP and all our public service institutions. And we're going to support, with this diversity, inclusive but robust immigration policies, and we're going to welcome qualified newcomers and refugees that need a fresh start. We will. À nos communautés francophones, je m'engage à soutenir votre culture, votre langue et vos valeurs. Vos valeurs, ce sont mes valeurs, ce sont les valeurs canadiennes. Je ne tolérerai pas ni le sectarisme ni l'isolationnisme. Même si beaucoup de francophones vivent dans la belle province de Québec, il faut savoir, tous les Canadiens doivent se rendre compte et comprendre que des citoyens partout dans le pays, en dehors de Québec, considèrent le français comme leur langue maternelle. Nos institutions doivent refléter cette réalité, que ce soit à Manitoba, Nouveau-Brunswick, Colombie-Britannique, Saskatchewan, Alberta. We should encourage our youth to become bilingual. It's a gateway to opportunity. I'm here today partly because I'm bilingual. It's a great pathway to opportunity. As the world is expanding and there are fewer horizons, we should encourage bilingualism. Some people may choose French, but others may choose Mandarin, Punjabi, Spanish, or Creole. But our children are growing up in a globe with fewer barriers, and we have to help them be leaders on behalf of us in this globe. We're going to end the discrimination that qualified immigrants face when they join us in Canada. We're going to develop a nation competency evaluations for foreign trained professionals that will be administered in every province and territory. If they're a medical specialist from New Delhi, engineer from Kenya, plumber from Ireland, I need one, they shall have the opportunity to prove their capabilities and become employed in their field of expertise. To our Indigenous people, from First Nations, from Inuit, and from Métis communities, I want to pass a very strong and clear message to you. I commit myself and my party as leader and as Prime Minister to the ideal of reconciliation. We've got a lot of work ahead of us to repair this relationship. We may not always get it right, but I promise to work conscientiously toward respectful dialogue and consultation. All of us in the resource sector know that Canada cannot have a responsible resource sector without consultation. Consultation with our Indigenous communities, with all our communities, is the key to the success of the resource sector in Canada. So to do all this, right, to do this program, we got to be bold. We need to be bold. Our party needs to be bold. We need to put our stamp on Canada in a bold manner. So under my leadership, we will be bold. We will be bold. Our government, our Conservative government under my leadership, will take less money out of your pocket because we would introduce a 15% flat federal personal income tax. And we're going to eliminate corporate tax to help companies grow, expand, invest, and establish themselves as leaders across the globe. We're going to kickstart the Canadian economy. We're going to rip up Bill C-48. We're going to rip that up. And those of us who have been on the fight on Bill C-69, Andrew and Beth, and everybody who supported us across Canada in our leadership fight against Bill C-69, we made lots of changes. We didn't kill it, but boy, we made it close to better. Well, we're going to finish the job. We're going to finish the job. Okay? We're going to make sure that there's no political interference in decisions that affect the resource economy in your lives. We're going to make sure that Cabinet has their fingers out of the pie. We're going to make sure that qualified experts have a look at what needs to go into a decision, but it's not an environment minister sitting in a Cabinet office in Ottawa that makes a decision. We're going to get Canada hiring again. High Arctic's hiring. We want that sign to be up across Western Canada, across Quebec, across the Maritimes. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We will introduce a carbon pricing on large emitters. We're going to tweak what is already a real strong plan that we have here in Alberta. It's called the tier plan. We're going to axe the Liberal carbon tax that's on you and your businesses. We're going to kill it. So it just makes sense, right? We're going to tax the carbon emitters and axe the tax on you. Like, it's not hard. We're going to do it, okay? We're going to support technology and entrepreneurs in a real key sector for us, and that's in banking and telecommunications, right? Check out your bank statement, check out your phone bill. There's a couple monopolies or oligopolies. We don't need that. We're going to support the men and women who are breaking up the face of banking, who are breaking up the barriers of technology. And we're doing that for you, because we deserve it. You deserve it. And we're going to roll back the Liberal gun laws. We're going to roll back the legislation that attacks around here in this area. We're going to roll back this gun legislation that basically is aimed at sports shooters, farmers, and duck hunters like me. Now, I'm a duck hunter. I'm not a good one. My brother Randy is here. He's really good, right? Right? But Randy and I and my 3 golden retrievers are really the ones that are paying for the increased administration costs, the increased hassle, the increased measures that the Liberals think are attacking gun crime, but have absolutely, they've missed. They're shooting from the hip and they're missing, and they're hitting a couple guys shooting chickens and partridges and a couple golden retrievers. So we're going to stop that. I've had enough of that. I'm going to stop that. That is going to stop. Et je peux dire que tous les amis au Québec qui sont comme moi, je vous écoute dans ce bataille et on sera solidaires ensemble. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to launch a bold plan for the Arctic. The Arctic. All right? Duncan's been helping me formulate this, but we're going to take a 10-year view, and we're going to invest human capacity and everything we can to retake a part of the world that really defines who Canada is. But the Arctic is under pressure. It's under pressure from foreign military, and climate change is having a big, big effect on the Arctic. So we're going to encourage all Canadians over the next 10 years. On my first day as Prime Minister, we're going to make an invitation to every single Canadian to go and visit and come and visit the Arctic. We're going to, by 2030, if we do it right, we, the North, is not only going to be the brand of the best basketball team in the world, it's going to be the brand of Canada, okay? So a couple things in the Arctic. there are three things that we're going to do as a priority of my government is we got to get internet bandwidth up there, right? There are mining companies doing work up there. A CEO just called us before here and he said, Rick, do you know that when I go out for dinner, I load up my laptop and then I go for dinner and come back an hour later and 10 emails have come through. We can't have that. We want the best technology that moves technology for the internet bandwidth. Communication is money. Communication is investments. Our Arctic residents are in the dark ages because of a lack of focus on this area of the world. Infrastructure and roads. We need infrastructure and roads in the Western Arctic especially, but we need it all over. And we will have consultations. Nothing happens without the consultations with the 3 Inuit associations up there. And we will launch that on day 1. And here's what you're going to love. The carbon tax on fuel in the north. Not that many solar plants, not that many windmills. It just makes sense to take the carbon tax away from people who have no alternative and who are defending our sovereignty and who are doing everything they can to contribute to the wealth that we have down here in the south. They need us, we'll be there for them. It's a bold plan, isn't it? It's a disruptive plan, and I'm proud of it. But it's a winning plan, ladies and gentlemen. This is a winning plan. I can win in Ontario. We have business in Ontario. We have an office in Ontario. I do Ontario's language of business and the economy. I raise money in Ontario, deal with entrepreneurs who are looking for help in Ontario. I know my way around Bay Street. I know my way around Main Street. Et je parle couramment le français. Ça fait depuis 40 ans que je parle français. Les francophones, à travers le Canada, ont besoin de quelqu'un qui va les écouter, qui va les parler, qui va les comprendre, et quelqu'un qui parlait directement aujourd'hui, le 28 juin, le jour d'après que je deviens chef du Parti conservateur. Il faut quelqu'un tout de suite qui puisse s'engager, M. Trudeau et M. Blanchet. M. Blanchet, les deux hommes-là, c'est les deux hommes au Québec qui devraient entendre avec le nouveau...
Maybe we can all come up to the front here. We'll do a Stanley Cup championship.
Come on, everybody up.
That would be great.
Go on.